She doesn't argue anymore. She doesn't demand attention. She doesn't fight for connection. That's not peace. That's rehearsal. She's practicing goodbye, one silence at a time. By the time she leaves, she'll have already done it 100 times in her head. You won't even notice, because she'll still be there, physically, smiling, acting normal. But emotionally, she's gone. See, women perfect the art of leaving long before they ever walk away. And when they do, there are always signs. Subtle, invisible, but devastatingly consistent. In this video, I'll show you how to spot the rehearsal before it becomes the real thing. She doesn't have to block you, argue with you, or cheat to make you feel unwanted. All she has to do is stop choosing you. Day by day, moment by moment. That's the part most men never see coming. You start overthinking, questioning your worth, trying harder to earn what's already gone. I know that silence. It's not just hers. It's yours too. It's yours. That heavy, invisible quiet that makes you feel unseen inside your own relationship. If you've ever been there, hit like and subscribe, because this space, Female Code Unlocked, exists to help you read what she never says. Now tell me in the comments, have you ever felt that slow emotional fade but pretended not to? Stay with me, because what comes next will show you how to recognize that silence before it breaks you completely. First, emotional distance. When her heart leaves before her body. When a woman's heart starts to leave, her body just hasn't caught up yet. She's sitting right next to you. Yet somehow you feel miles apart. The laughter that once filled the air between you is now replaced by quiet nods and distant stares. Conversations that used to last for hours now die out in minutes. That's not exhaustion. That's her heart quietly packing its bags. Emotional distance is the first step before the physical one. Because women rarely leave suddenly, they detach. Bit by bit, she starts closing emotional doors, keeping you out of her thoughts, her feelings, her inner world. And here's what most men don't realize. She's not protecting herself from you. She's protecting herself from the pain of losing you. The less she feels, the less it'll hurt when she finally walks away. You'll notice it in the silence after your jokes, in the way her eyes wander when you talk, or how her messages lose warmth, turning from good morning to just morning. She stops sharing her fears, her dreams, her random thoughts, and suddenly the connection that once felt deep now feels hollow. Because something's missing. And the truth is, it's her. Once her heart starts to leave, no amount of effort can pull her back. You can't fix emotional distance by trying harder. You fix it by observing deeper. Don't ask, "Are you okay?" That question gives her an escape route, a polite lie. Ask instead, "What's changed?" Because that question demands truth. From her and from yourself. 2. Physical distance. When touch disappears. At first it's subtle. She stops leaning into you during conversations. Her hugs become shorter. Her goodnight kisses turn into soft pats on the shoulder. You tell yourself, she's tired, maybe stressed. But deep down, you already know. It's not about the moment. It's about the shift. When emotional warmth fades, physical closeness is always the first casualty. Touch, that small effortless bridge between two people, becomes uncomfortable, even forced. She used to reach for your hand without thinking. Now her body flinches, not enough to see, but enough to feel. The intimacy that once felt natural now feels like negotiation. But here's the truth. This isn't cruelty. It's transition. She's not trying to hurt you. She's trying to train herself to live without you. Every "not tonight," every "I'm just tired," isn't rejection. It's rehearsal. It's her way of softening the goodbye for herself. And this is where most men make their biggest mistake. They chase it. They try to force closeness, surprise dates, big gestures, emotional pleas. But distance isn't a challenge. It's a signal. You can't close the gap by touching her more. You have to let silence speak for both of you. Because when she feels your calm instead of your need, That's when she realizes what she's truly walking away from. Don't beg for her touch. Respect the gap. Because sometimes the space she creates tells you more truth than her words ever will. 3. Digital distance. When the silence moves online, you see her online. She's posting, liking, commenting. Her world looks alive, connected, vibrant. Everyone gets a piece of her attention, except you. Your messages are left unread. The emojis are gone. The warmth in her words has vanished, replaced by cold, clipped replies. Okay. Sure. We'll see. This is digital distance. The modern version of emotional silence. It's not that she's too busy to reply. It's that she's choosing not to. Online behavior reveals emotional priorities. And right now, you're no longer one of them. She's not ghosting you. Not yet. She's fading you out pixel by pixel until you stop noticing the gap between you. Technology makes disappearing easier than ever. She doesn't need to say, "I'm done." She just needs to slow her replies until you stop reaching out. It's her quiet way of saying goodbye, without ever saying the word. Your instinct will scream, "Text her again." Call. Ask what's wrong, don't. Every extra message only confirms what she's already decided. You're chasing while she's retreating. So go silent. Let her feel your absence in the same digital space she once filled with noise. Because sometimes the loudest message you can send is the one you don't. 4th, the excuse factory. When busy becomes the new goodbye. When she says she's busy, it's rarely her schedule. It's her priorities. At first, her excuses sound harmless. Work's been crazy. I'm just exhausted. I need a little space. You nod. You believe her. Because you want to. You want to think it's just a phase. That if you're patient enough, things will go back to normal. But slowly a pattern forms. Every time you try to connect, there's a new reason she can't. She's not canceling plans anymore. She's canceling you. Here's what most men miss. Women avoid direct conflict not because they're weak, but because they're in control. Excuses let her fade out without confrontation. She gets to keep her image clean while slowly rewriting your role in her life. Every "not tonight" and maybe next week is a soft rehearsal for the day she won't have to explain anything at all. And here's the truth that stings the most. No one is ever too busy for what truly matters. People make time for what they value. When she stops making time for you, she's not drowning in obligations. She's making space. For freedom or for someone else. Now, your instinct will try to save her attention. You'll want to prove your worth, remind her of what you had, talk her back into remembering. Don't. Every protest only feeds the narrative in her mind that you're the problem. Too emotional, too demanding, too much. So here's your power move. Silence. Not the bitter kind, the composed kind. Let her excuses echo unanswered. When she realizes she no longer has to lie to you, and you still won't chase, that's when the silence starts to haunt her. Because peace always echoes louder when she expected a fight. 5. No future talk. The silence about tomorrow. Remember when she used to dream with you? The road trips, the new apartment, the silly someday plans that made you both laugh until midnight. Those conversations are gone now. And every time you bring up next month or next year, she changes the subject. She doesn't argue. She just deflects. That's not forgetfulness. That's foresight. She's already imagining a future that doesn't include you, and talking about it with you would make the guilt too heavy to carry. So she stays quiet, pretending she's just focused on the present, when in reality she's quietly building her exit. Avoiding the future is emotional self-protection. Because women know. Words create attachment, and plans create commitment. So when she cuts off those topics, she's cutting the emotional ties that still bind her to you. It's not hesitation. It's premeditated emotional withdrawal. You'll feel it when you suggest a weekend getaway and she says, "Let's see." Or when you talk about something exciting and she only smiles politely. That smile used to mean, "I'm in." Now it means, "I'm already out." Each vague answer is a thread unraveling. her story slowly detaching from yours. Now, most men panic here. They start trying to rebuild the dream. They double down, plan more, talk bigger, hoping to pull her vision back. But you can't force someone to picture a future they've already erased. So, instead of begging to be included, state what you see. Say, I feel like we're not building anything together lately. That line doesn't accuse, it exposes. It forces honesty without pressure. Because silence about the future isn't confusion, it's confirmation. When she stops speaking about tomorrow, it's because she's already packing up today. 6. Overly critical. The war of small things. It starts small. The way you chew, the way you breathe, the way you leave your shoes by the door. Things that never mattered before suddenly become unbearable. You can feel it. The atmosphere turns sharp, heavy, like you're walking through a house built out of glass. And here's the truth. She's not nitpicking to fix you. She's justifying leaving you. When a woman begins to criticize everything you do, it's not about your habits. It's about her mind, trying to make sense of what her heart already decided. She's not trying to rebuild the connection. She's trying to convince herself she's right to walk away. Because it's easier to leave when she can tell herself, he's the problem. Psychologists call this emotional detachment through devaluation. She lowers your emotional value so the goodbye won't hurt as much. That's why her tone feels colder, her patience thinner, her words sharper. It's not anger. It's detachment disguised as irritation. And here's where most men lose their balance. They argue, they defend, they fight for approval, but every argument only proves her internal story right. That you're too reactive, too emotional, too unstable. So what's the countermove? Silence. Deliberate, composed, unbothered. Let her words echo into stillness. When she can't get a reaction, she loses the fuel for her fight. And in that quiet, one of two things happens. She either sees her own projection, or she realizes she's already halfway gone. Because when she's criticizing everything you do, she's not fighting you anymore. She's fighting the guilt of leaving. You just happen to be standing in the way. The truth is, most men never see these signs for what they are. They think they can talk her back, touch her back, or prove their way back. But when a woman has already started her emotional exit, every attempt to pull her closer only pushes her further. You can't out-talk detachment. You can only recognize it before it erases you. Because once she perfects her silence, you'll realize too late. She was never at peace. She was rehearsing. 7. Less effort in appearance. When beauty turns into indifference. You remember how she used to show up. The way her perfume lingered. The sparkle in her eyes when she caught you looking. The little details she paid attention to. Not out of vanity, but because she cared how you saw her. That was her silent way of saying, I still want you to want me. But lately something's changed. She doesn't dress up for date nights anymore. Her hair stays tied in the same messy bun. The lipstick you once loved, untouched for weeks. And when she looks at you, there's no spark, no silent question of, do you still find me beautiful? Because she no longer needs the answer. Here's the truth. When a woman stops trying to impress you, it's not comfort, it's closure. Her body is now expressing what her heart already knows. She's emotionally checked out, and her appearance simply followed. See? Attraction thrives on emotional investment. And once she withdraws her energy, the glow fades too. A woman at peace glows. A woman detached dims. Men often confuse this with relaxation. They think, she's just comfortable now. But apathy isn't comfort. It's quiet resignation. She's not trying to catch your attention anymore because she's already decided she doesn't need it. Your counter move? Don't comment. Don't criticize. Don't plead for the old version of her. Just notice. Because when she realizes you've stopped trying to pull her attention back, that's when silence finally catches up to her reflection. And for a split second, she might see what she's really lost. Not you, but the version of herself that still believed in the us she once fought for. 8. No jealousy. When indifference replaces possession. Once upon a time, she cared. She noticed when another woman laughed a little too hard at your jokes. She'd reach for your hand in public, not to show off, but to remind both of you that you were hers. That spark of possessiveness wasn't toxic. It was connection. It meant she still valued you enough to fear losing you. But now, you mention another woman's name. She doesn't react. You take longer to reply. She doesn't ask. You go out without her. She says, "Have fun." And she means it. That calm tone that once felt mature, it's not maturity anymore. It's indifference. When jealousy disappears completely, it doesn't mean she trusts you more. It means she's emotionally checked out. Because a woman in love still feels anger, fear, protectiveness. But a woman detached feels nothing at all. And nothing is colder than her silence when she's no longer afraid of losing you. You'll notice she stops marking her space around you. No more playful comments, no subtle claims, no warmth in her presence. That's because in her mind you're already gone. Most men panic here. They try to provoke a reaction, post something online, flirt a little, do something to see if she still cares. But when she's reached indifference, no jealousy trick will pull her back. So don't test her emotions. Don't bait her heart. When she's this calm, it's not peace, it's finality. And that's the hardest thing to accept. The moment she stops fighting for you, she's not yours anymore. Not emotionally, not spiritually. And that quiet, that's goodbye in its final form. 9. Secrecy. When transparency turns into walls. She used to tell you everything, her schedule, her moods, even the random nonsense that didn't matter. You felt included in her world, like you had access to her life. But lately, something's different. Her phone's always face down. Notifications cleared. New passwords, half answers, a calm smile that doesn't reach her eyes. That smile is the wall. When a woman starts guarding her privacy, it's rarely about betrayal. It's about detachment rehearsal. She's practicing what it feels like to live without you looking over her shoulder. The secrecy isn't always for someone else. It's for herself. It's her way of reclaiming space. Emotional, mental, and spiritual. Most men think this means she's cheating. Sometimes she is. But more often, she's just pulling back into a version of her world that no longer includes you. She's not lying. She's editing. Editing out your role in her story, one detail at a time, every vague reply, every "don't worry about it." It's not rebellion, it's transition. She's stopped seeking your comfort, stopped needing your approval. And the moment she stops explaining herself to you is the moment she's already gone. Your counter move? Don't chase the truth, because when you start interrogating, you shift from partner to policeman, and nothing kills emotional connection faster than suspicion. So step back. Let her have her silence. If she's already gone, chasing won't bring her back. But if anything still remains inside her, your calm detachment might be the only thing she still respects. Because mystery isn't the problem, it's the proof. Proof that you've already been written out of her world. 10. Gut instinct. The truth. Your body already knows. Before the breakup ever happens, your body already knows. You feel it in your chest when she laughs a little too easily around others. You sense it in the silence that stretches longer, colder, heavier. You wake up next to her, and it feels like sleeping beside a stranger. That's not paranoia. That's recognition. Your intuition has been whispering what your logic refuses to admit. Men are wired to rationalize. You tell yourself, it's just stress. She's just tired. She still loves me. But intuition isn't fear. It's truth before evidence. It's your body picking up what your heart already knows. The tone, the distance, the emptiness. When a woman has emotionally checked out, her energy changes first. You can't explain it. You just feel it. That tension before the storm. That silence before the goodbye. And here's the hardest truth. Your gut isn't warning you. It's preparing you. Preparing you to let go. Because deep down, you already know this version of her isn't coming back. So stop asking for clarity from her when your own body has already given it to you. Stillness is your closure. Acceptance is your power. When your gut tells you it's over, believe it. Because your heart always feels the ending long before your mind finds the courage to admit it. Final monologue. The art of leaving before goodbye. 10 signs, 10 small deaths, all happening quietly, long before the breakup ever does. Emotional, physical, digital, behavioral, psychological. That's how women leave. Not suddenly, one, but softly. One conversation, one touch, one silence at a time. By the time you notice you're not losing her, you've already lost her. Every ignored text, every not tonight, every I'm just tired. Those weren't moments, they were farewells disguised as routine. But this isn't about blame. It's about awareness. You can't stop a woman who's already made peace with leaving. But you can stop betraying yourself by pretending not to see it. The truth doesn't break you. Denial does. When silence grows, it's not a mystery to solve. It's a truth to accept. Because silence isn't punishment. It's closure. It's the echo of everything you ignored while she was still trying. So what do you do now? You don't chase. You don't beg. You observe. You accept. And then you rebuild the parts of yourself that forgot how to stand without her. Because the man who understands silence never fears losing it again. If this message hits you, don't just sit in the quiet. Use it. Wake up. Reclaim your emotional control. Learn to read what's unsaid. So you never get blindsided by what's already gone. Subscribe if you're ready to understand women beyond their words. Like this video if it opened your eyes. And tell me, which sign hit you the hardest? Because maybe this time silence won't break you. It will build you.